If you're doing everything yourself in your business, you are not leading, you're holding it back. Hi, I'm Angie Dobransky, your partner for Radical Success. And today I want to talk about one of the biggest barriers to growth I see with business owners, micromanaging. Micromanaging isn't proof you care, it's proof you haven't learned to let go. It's one of the hardest habits to break, but it's essential if you want to grow, because here's the truth. You cannot do it all, and if you try, you'll burn out. Why do business owners fall into micromanaging? A few reasons. Fear of losing control, belief that no one can do it exactly like them, anxiety about the quality of the results, not knowing how to give clear instructions about the outcome, so they just control every single step instead. Harvard Business Review says micromanagement often stems from leadership anxiety, but it doesn't help your business. Here's what it actually does. It demotivates your team, it slows down decision making, it kills creativity and ownership, and it burns you out. Gallup found that micromanaged employees are 28% less engaged. McKinsey says high trust teams are 50% more productive. So let's talk about recognizing when you're micromanaging. Your team complains or gets defensive. You can't let go. Everything waits for your personal sign-off. Projects stall because you're the bottleneck. One of my favorite coaching questions is, where is it getting stuck? And we keep asking until it's clear. It's them. Let me share a personal story about micromanaging. When my husband and I were first dating, one of our first team projects was throwing a party. He was cooking and asked me to chop onions. So I asked, how big do you want the chop? And he showed me. I went to work, but he stood over me watching, and then he said, let me show you again how I chop the onions. And I said, okay, and kept chopping. And a moment later, he said, you're not doing it my way. And I looked at him and I asked, are the onions chopped the size you want? And he said, yes. And I said, if you want to chop the onions, you can. Otherwise, let me chop them the way I chop onions. It was his first lesson that I'm not really that easy to micromanage. Because if the outcome is right, the method doesn't have to be mine. And that's the mindset shift you need as a leader. Because your team, they won't do it exactly like you. And that's okay. What matters is the result within clear guidelines. So, let's talk about some practical steps to stop micromanaging and delegate effectively. First, set clear expectations up front. Define what success looks like, outcome, timeline, tools, parameters. Second, provide some guardrails, not a script. Trust your team's expertise, explain the why, and let them figure out the how. Third, use regular, structured check-ins, avoid constant hovering, plan consistent reviews, ask about challenges, and offer feedback. Fourth, communicate the why. People work better when they understand the purpose. Help them to see the bigger picture of their work. Fifth, trust your team, including contractors and AI tools. Delegation isn't just for employees. Contractors need clear expectations. AI tools need well thought out prompts. If you want great results, you have to be clear about what you want. And here's what I want you to remember. Micromanaging isn't leadership. It's fear in disguise. Real leadership means empowering others to deliver results, even if they do it differently than you would. If you're ready to break free from micromanaging and start delegating like a true leader, I'd love to help. Go ahead and download my free delegation guide. You can find it on my website, radstrategic.com, and you can get the templates, the systems, and the prompts you need to make delegation radically easier. I'm Angie Dobransky. Thank you so much for watching. I know you've got this, and I'm here to help.